7 to 8 p.m. on DBS Radio. This is where we speak with great and regular Dominicans who will speak about their experiences, failures, and achievements. From doctors to politicians to sanitary engineers to the average man on the streets. Your story is a part of the Dominican story. And don't forget, within the Dominican story, we all have a Maria story. Life experiences contributing to the Dominica story with Julie Roberts on Bio Out Loud, Whitey Kubuli Mondays, 7 to 8 p.m. on DBS Radio. Welcome to everyone in Radioland. This is DBS Radioland, and we are live on Facebook also. This is another edition of Bio Out Loud. You can catch us every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m., part of the Whitey Kubuli Mondays here on DBS Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the 11th of September, 2023, a very special day. But more so, we've decided that we're going to be doing Bio Out Loud a bit different for this month of September, as I told you. So last week, we celebrated 1 year. We're 1 year old, baby steps. But we plan to have a phenomenal month. So everything is different this month. So last week was the 1 year celebration where we had our toast and we had a back in the future vibe where we spoke to Miss Rudolphia. Everybody laughed and really had a good time. This week, we're doing PCOS Dominican stories. So we have two beautiful women here with us who are going to be doing some PCOS awareness. So we'll get into that. Next week, God's willing, we're doing Bush Tea and Maria. So very often people find that they've forgotten their Maria story until they sit down sipping something and everybody start to give their story and it is spoken about. I'm not sure if Maria occurred on the 17th or the 18th because people still in between boy, it started on the 17th, it finished on the 18th.
Yeah, I think it's both days right
but
now.
next week, Monday is the 18th of September. And we're going to have a cup of bush tea, our blanket, and we're going to have some Maria stories. We encourage people to call in. This week, we have two firsts. First, we have, for the first time ever, we have two guests on Bio Out Loud. I've never had two guests before because we only focus on one story at a time. And first is that we have somebody who's celebrating their birthday in the house. So we want to say happy birthday to our first guest, Miss Lily Octave. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. I feel welcomed. And thanks for the birthday greeting.
Yes, and before the show is over, I'm pretty sure we'll toast to your birthday. I know we toast last week, but we'll toast this week. We cannot let you leave without toasting. Oh, no. And then we have Miss Rachel Shillingford. She came repping the color. I'm so sorry. She was fly. She's still fly. But I know. She had to change her outfit because of the screen. But thank you so much for being here with me this evening, ladies. And
welcome.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And in our background, we have Miss Tasha showcasing Tasha P, one of my foundation members, showcasing one of the issues women with PCOS face. Mm-hmm. So tonight, let us have an educational but fun time here in studio. Yeah. Welcome to Facebook Land, Radio Land, and to you, my beautiful guest.
Yeah. Welcome. Hi, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to use Google High School to just tell our listeners what is PCOS. So it's basically polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's PCOS for short. And it's a condition in which the ovaries produce an abnormal amount of androgens, male hormones that are usually present in women in small amounts. So normally we have a small amount of androgen, however the body is producing it in females, and hence why we end up with all these issues. So it is definitely something that a lot of black women, even women here in Dominica, a lot of us face, and it is not just like where you how you see Tasha has the facial hair. It goes way beyond that. So this evening we're gonna speak about it and just let the public know what's going on. So I can start with Rachel. Mm-hmm. Rachel, at what point did you realize that you had PCOS?
Okay, so my PCOS journey began for me in high school. I suffered with painful periods, irregular periods. However, I wasn't really educated on it till I was in my late 20s, and I did an ultrasound that made me aware that I had polycystic ovaries. So I suffered with the irregular periods, the painful. I'm talking about not being able to do my daily activities until I had to see a gynecologist. And by then, every gynecologist in Dominica had my file because I did not know what to do. So that
Wow.
was when it started for me.
What about you, Lily?
For me, it was after I had my daughter. I had a lot of pain before, the same painful period
Yes.
pains, and I also realized that we had it in our family, the excess hair growth to the chin, and we're plump. We're
Yeah.
pleasant.
Yes.
We are pleasantly
Plump.
plump.
Yes. Yes.
So I besides the pains and stuff that I was getting after I had my daughter, I had some surgical complications, and then afterwards, the having all the pain that was unexplained when I too went to several gynecologists, and I think they too all have my file.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
trying to find out what happened, but it's only when we went into surgery just to looking, they found out that there's so much of this going on, and the
Polycystic
polycystic
ovaries.
ovaries and so on.
Yes.
And the rest is history.
History.
Okay.
We'll
Yes.
we'll definitely talk about
Yeah.
the different trips to the gynecologist and
Yes.
this kind of things. So you were basically pretty much adult while Rachel was still a teenager when she found out.
Right.
We also were supposed to have Miss Trudy Christine here, but I promised her sending her love. Mwah.
Sending love.
Yes, we will have her a different day. We know that she's definitely one of the activists for PCOS here in
Yes.
Dominica. So next time we'll have her because she does have a tremendous story also. All right, so we're talking about, Rachel said that she had a lot of pains. And I know there are people who they have PCOS, but they do not have that kind of like the bad periods. They just have no periods.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah.
So
Yes.
this is a symptom of PCOS as well.
Yes.
The irregular and absenteeism
Yes.
of period is one of the diagnoses for having PCOS, and most women are not aware, and that is where we fall uneducated about that.
Right.
Yes.
We just feel like we miss our
We
period,
miss our
not
period.
realizing. Yes.
Some of us are even happy to not have a period.
Right.
Yeah.
And some, in other cases, more extreme cases, don't have fertility issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
they're unable to give birth.
Birth.
Yes.
It affects
Yes.
that. So that leads now to other psychological issues
Yes.
that women can face
Yes.
with the PCOS. Yeah.
So we'll get into that. So you're in high school and you're having all these pains and you started going to doctors. Tell me what it was like while visiting doctors. I know you said everybody had your file,
Yeah.
but let's talk about the psychological aspect. Let's talk about the psychological aspect, but I also want to know the physical journey as to what it was like.
Yeah.
Okay, so what most people don't understand, with PCOS comes depression. That was one of the things that I had to face. I mean, you're young and you're having all this problem with your period, you're missing school, and it's hard. So on my first visit to get an ultrasound, I was told I only had one cyst on my ovaries, and that is not something that you should worry about. So you go on living life, you're not educated about it, and I'm still experiencing the painful periods. And it was a painful journey to go through, knowing that you have nausea, you're vomiting, and it's not normal, for a
Yeah.
teenager to face. So I had to deal with that, and I think it affected me tremendously. There are times that you just wanted to just lay home and bring down the curtains and not go out.
Yes.
So that was a very hard journey for me throughout
Yeah.
high school.
So you're saying
Yeah.
it really did affect your mental
My
health.
mental health, yes.
Yes, psychologically it
Yeah.
affected. You know, very often we will have teenagers acting out, or they want to be antisocial, and we'll just think, oh, it's a phase. You know, that's something we tend to do a lot because, you know,
True.
we're not going to talk to a therapist or
Yeah.
a shrink here in the Caribbean. You know, we'll say it's a phase.
Yes.
So I just really want to let them know that you can be very much depressed. It's one of the symptoms, especially with some of the medications that are given also.
True.
It does trigger
your moods.
a mood swings
Yeah.
and depression. While it treats depression, it's still, you know,
Yeah.
it's a weird balance. Okay, so Lily, what about you? What was your journey like
My journey
with in terms of psychologically and, you know, doctor journey?
Yes, well, I relate because I remember that I was going to school doing nursing at the time. And there was a day when I was in so much pain. Now, I have a high tolerance for pain, but so I've been going through this for years, and it's been plain to me that was bearable. That time was really, really, it tested my limit. And there were some who were recording, some who said, you know, our local people, you know, they're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
demon possession and all kinds of stuff. You
I
know,
know.
and they said all kind of wild
Yeah.
things. So it was, that moment was embarrassing to me. So it affected me. That outside, having everybody looking at you and not understanding what you're going through, and me not understanding what I'm going through. So I'm just looking for answers, and answers were not exactly coming because some things can't exactly be shown by the scans. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So they're looking and they're saying everything looks okay,
Normal.
right? And
Yeah.
then there was a time when they did discover that cyst, and they said that it was nothing to worry about until one of the doctors decided that no, that is too large.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of it. So they went in, and when they went in through surgery, that's when everything was revealed that this is the case, and the other surgical complications that we experienced during that, which was the endometriosis, which is also something that can be
Yes.
closely linked with the PCOS at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that, and several surgeries after. So I had my C-section in 2011, and then a surgery every year since for 5 years. So that's how. So that for me was like very difficult. Even at the hospital, you know, a lot of nurses, they knew me because I was there so often. It almost was like, you know, a
That's
second
your
home.
home.
And
Yeah.
it was really frustrating.
So
Yeah.
prior to being told that you have PCOS, did you know about PCOS?
I had no clue. As a matter of fact, it was because of people like Trudy Christian and so on that made that something that was off topic at the time. And then after, when all the discoveries and stuff came out, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because then it explained this hair growth too.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about that. Yes.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what about you? I know you said you were in high school.
Yeah.
You heard about it before, like your mom, your aunt, anybody spoke about PCOS?
No, I have never heard of it because everyone felt that painful periods were like normal, like you have to have pain during your menstrual cycle, and there are times when I was older that you have been told, oh, have a child, it'll stop the pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was like
that's a
a
big
normal
one.
norm to have these kind of painful periods.
Yes.
But fast tracked 24, and it's getting worse.
Yes.
So I began researching, and I was told more about it. And when I did my own research and look at my symptoms, I run some tests, and that's how I know the extent of how PCOS was. And I started looking at natural alternative to help me.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to go into the business aspect because I know both of you, because of your illness, has definitely influenced your entrepreneurship journey.
Yes.
So we'll get into that at some time during the show. But as our picture in the back illustrates, and Lily almost went into,
Almost.
women with PCOS often exhibit a little extra, not just facial hair, but also just body
Body hair,
hair
yes.
all over. So I don't see Rachel having any body hair to talk about.
I
but
do.
but let's talk about the body hair.
managed.
It's
Yeah.
managed, yeah. I do have it on my hand, but I think it's for genetics, hereditary,
Yes.
for family roots, and but I don't have it as much on my face, and I'm scared to getting it that way. But I have looked up herbal remedies and stuff to keep it under control, and what teas to drink and how to proper manage it.
Oh,
So,
sis,
okay.
I need those remedies.
yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
wait, before you go in, Lily, this is something that a lot of women, we do not want to speak about it publicly, because even when we spoke about what polycystic ovary syndrome is, they said right away is when you have more man genes or more men hormones.
Testosterone.
Let me
Yeah.
just put
Yeah.
it there. You have more androgen, which is normally associated with men. When you
Yes.
have more of it, is that kind of thing. And just
Yeah.
hearing that as a woman, when you're supposed to be sensual, soft, and female,
Yeah.
you do not want to be associated with being called male.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm happy to see that you do not mind saying, okay, I need to manage my
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we need to be a little more candid and honest about issues in order to be able to help ourselves and others.
We do.
So let's go into this one. So when you first saw hair under your chin, and I mean you're nice, curvy, plump, you're a woman in every way. so what was that like?
It was interesting. I thought that I had it under control. When I saw one, I heard do not shave, because if you shave one,
Army
like
comes.
you're gonna find 10 others the next time. So I was like, okay, so I'm not going to shave, but I used the tweezer and I would just pluck one, pluck, and then I was like, okay, but this is getting out of control because now I have 5. Am I not supposed to pluck? So
Yeah, I know.
it's not, so I'm right now. It's almost at a point where tweezing is went from like 2 minutes or minutes to now 5 minutes and so on, because there's so much. And it was something that really had me uncomfortable, because some people would stare.
Yeah.
Some people would literally like be like, oh, okay, so okay, yeah, but don't you like take it out though? But sometimes you do it and then in less than no time it's back again. So I've came to a point where I had to embrace that, because it is a part of me.
That's
right
true.
now. So if anybody is scared, stares right now, it does not take away from my beauty as far as I'm concerned.
Amen.
Yes.
So that's been the mindset. But at its start, it really was something that bothered me. It had me uncomfortable.
Yes. So, I mean, a lot of people do not know. And you'll see a bearded woman and you'll be like, why she have that hair on her face? She can't take care of herself. That kind of
that-
thing. Not realizing. And as you said, the stairs.
the stairs.
I can imagine that. Because, and that's why when we did the different aspects of the foundation, we really wanted Tasha to do the PCOS. So even though we have other illnesses we want to help women, bring forth awareness to, we really wanted to do PCOS because that one, there are more visible abnormalities
True.
associated with it. So even things like I have fibromyalgia, and often I'll tell people and they'll be like, oh, what is this? And I get a chance to tell them what it is and what my days can be like.
Yeah.
But then you cannot see anything. As a matter of fact, when you go to the doctor, they too cannot even see anything. They think I'm healthy as an ox.
Yeah.
But then you have all the pains and stuff. So but PCOS is the one where people can look at you and not realize what you're going through. Another thing that I see that Rachel doesn't really exhibit is weight gain, overweight.
Oh.
So we can start with her because
Yeah.
she just seemed like the person that just got away from everything. So Rachel, you need to be telling the people at home what you're doing, why we're not seeing the signs.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some people, you can have PCOS and not have the weight gain, because there are different types of PCOS. There are insulin resistant PCOS, inflammatory and post-pill. So what I have inflammatory PCOS. So the weight gain won't really be on my side. However, if you're someone who suffer from PCOS that has to do with insulin, you will have the weight gain.
Yeah.
So that means you have to watch your food. You eat the sugar, or yes, stay away from sugar. And I'm also doing that because you don't know what can happen with PCOS. So I
Yes.
watch what I eat, what I drink. The sodas that we love so much, you have to stay away from it. The bread, all these things.
The what?
The
What's
bread.
that thing? No, I don't understand that
I,
language.
I know our Dominican people
Stay
love the
away.
bread.
I
So
mean, it's competing for the
Wow.
national dish.
yes, exactly. So that's why my weight hasn't been so much for me, and I'm
Wow.
all about controlling my weight.
Wow.
Yes. So, that's definitely another thing. And I don't mean to be targeting, not because you're the birthday girl, but, so wait, were you always a thick girl? Do you feel like you got thicker after you were diagnosed with PCOS?
Definitely thicker afterwards because from young I was a bit chubby, and then early puberty I started to slim down a bit. In high school I was somewhat trim. I was always thick below. That's the family trademark, but besides that, after I was diagnosed, I realized that the weight gain was there, and I would try really hard to lose the weight, but it was something that was very difficult to do. So the same thing that I had to apply for the face hairs, I had to apply for my size. I just needed to make sure that I embrace who I am. This is who I am. Yeah.
Okay, so before we continue, I want to acknowledge all the people on the live. I am seeing you say, I saw somebody just said, really? PCOS is the reason I have for my beard? Girl, it might just be.
It might.
So, you
yes.
have to check your local gynecologist
Yeah.
because it might just be.
Yes.
So I'm happy that we can answer some of your questions, and I'm seeing that we have our regulars and some new ones also online saying good night and blessings to all of us. So I'll read some of the comments later on in the show.
Blessings to you too.
Yes. But as I said, we're trying to celebrate this evening, so please stay with us. We're going to take a short break, and not a short break, but we're going to pause to play a video. So every year, the Julie Roberts Foundation, we sponsor 2 children their back to school needs, and this year some of the people or the businesses within the community in Dominica, they came forward and they helped sponsor 2 children their back to school. So we have a short video that we just want to play with the children, and also to thank our sponsors for it. So we're gonna play it now.
Yes.
My name is Junior, and that is my shopping journey.
Every year, the Julie Roberts Foundation sponsors 2 students their supplies for back to school, which includes shoes, books, uniform, pencils, erasers, sharpener, whatever necessary for their academical year. This year was no different. We did exactly that.
My name is Aquinta.
We have chosen not to show the items purchased. However, we had a fun day shopping. We also paused for lunch at Petit Paris, where we sat down with the proprietor and had a lovely lunch. Benji from Triple K International also joined us for a little motivational talk, some laughs, some talk with the students, and just to make them feel loved and appreciated. We then journeyed to St. George Dental, where we met with Dr. Shannon John, where he cleaned the teeth of the students and also just had a little educational talk with them about dental hygiene. We also had the opportunity for Junior to be his assistant. So next summer, Junior may just have a summer job. Thank you to our many sponsors: Raz Fabric Portsmouth, Made Rocher Portsmouth, Sagicor, St. George Dental, Petit Paris, Triple K International, Patricia Oscar, and DBS Radio. The smiles and thank you from the students proves that this year was a success.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for staying with us. I realize you did stay with us on the live. We just want to thank everyone. At the end of the live, we will play the thank you to the sponsors. But we paused for a good cause for what we did with the foundation, and also so we can raise a glass. Tech team, manager team, everybody, to Lily, and all. So happy birthday. Long life, peace, love, health, and everything that you secretly desire. I pray that God will bless you.
Thank you. I received those blessings.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so we're not going to have a whole... Oh, that's nice wine.
I know, right? Yeah, it really is.
Yes. Okay. So we're talking about the weight that's associated with PCOS. Okay. I understand as a woman what it's like to not be the size you want to be when you look in the mirror. The thing is, I was also taught whatever size you are, you're beautiful until you get where you want to be.
Yes.
However, the reality is we know that there are people or women, when they look in the mirror, they're depressed.
Yeah.
Then you're being told that there's no cure to PCOS, because we haven't gotten to that part, but we know there's no cure or no noted cure except for
My tears.
Yes.
except for Rachel's tea at this point. Rachel, let me tell you, and I'm gonna tell it to the people. I'm sorry, this is where my cocoa normally come out. Let me tell you, I had Rachel's tea for PMS. Rachel, what is the PMS one? PMS relief, and my last period was. It was just leakage, nothing else.
Yeah.
Tell them, sis.
I had no pain. So now I can actually testify to this one. This is not even an ad. It's not a paid ad. Real things. Real thing.
Yeah.
So
We're speaking remedies.
So when Rachel says now, only cure that we have for PCOS, international matter, and she's the only person with a cure, I'm not even going to say it's not true. Because I believe her teas can cure anything.
And no.
And Rachel, I pinched my tea bag so much, right?
Oh, God.
When I used the first tea bag, I literally squeezed it out a little bit, put the Ziploc bag, put in the freezer. So I come back and use it again. But it worked. It really did work. But we'll get to your teas. So we know there's no cure. And the most you can do is just make sure when you put on your clothes, you have some confidence and stuff. How have you been dealing with it, Lily?
I have... it took time, yes. And there... I think is something, a lot of it had to do with looking for that external validation. Do I look good? From your point of view, does this look good on me? There was a lot of questions like that, and then at a certain point in time, I realized that there was one point where there was nobody to really give that. And those who gave it was not really positive feedback. No. So I was like, okay, so am I going to keep remaining, down and depressed because, this person says that this doesn't fit right, or this or
that's not for your size.
That's not for your size, But to me, I feel okay.
Yeah,
I feel good. Yeah. So this, as far as I'm concerned, right now, I'm gonna wear whatever I want. I agree. I'm going to, I don't care. Something is, the shoulder is not where it's supposed to be, or the boobs aren't where it's supposed to be. I don't care. This is me. So the world is gonna get whichever body I give it.
Yes. And it is so difficult to know you're going through something that you cannot control, yet still the judgment is there. Yes. The judgment is as real as your condition. But there's no cure. It's not like how you have high blood pressure and you can take some blood pressure medication to alleviate that. There's nothing you can really do, well, except we're going to go to Herbal Harmony, but
Yes.
Yeah. So, Rachel, please tell me of another symptom that you've had to go through or women go through with PCOS, because we do have women listening and we want to educate them as to what the journey is like.
Okay, so one of the symptoms that I had beside irregular period was pelvic pain. Like you're having pain in your pelvic area, but there's no period. And I had to deal with this with absent period. And this is where I started looking at what can I do, because you go to the doctor and they said that they're saying to you, you should at least take some form of pills to help lessen the pain. You know you have
Right.
PCOS. And I'm like, what can I do? So this was one of the symptoms that I had, my irregular period, absenteeism period, and also the lot of ovaries on my cysts
Cysts
on my
your
ovaries,
yeah.
so which gave me polycystic ovaries.
Right.
So these three symptoms confirmed that I had PCOS.
Right. Do you know of any other? Okay, infertility is one.
Yes.
So, like, I don't think I have PCOS because I've been asking my doctor. I've seen signs, right? But, you know, they'll be like, oh, when you have fibromyalgia, there's a possibility. And then every time you go, they say, you need to do this test. And I am like a man. You know, men do not like to go doctor to find out anything. This is like my strong point in life, right?
Yeah.
But you keep hearing as a woman without a child, well, I now have a child, but you keep hearing things like, oh, you're getting up there in age, why don't you have a child? And I know a lot of my friends who have PCOS, that's like the worst thing because they want to be moms so bad.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah.
day, you say, oh, that woman barren, but now infertility is a real thing and it's rampant.
Yeah.
Like in every circle, every room you walk into, you can meet a woman who wants to be pregnant, but she's just not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
It's a real thing now. Adoption and fostering and all these things, it has become more real because of that. And, you know, that's why my foundation, we try to make adoption and these things easier for low-income women and single women because it's real that I want to be a mommy, I want to nurture, but I can't. In my case, I'm afraid the pain of babies. But, you know, while I'm saying I'm afraid of it, my friends are trying to do IVF and all these things.
Yeah.
So I do not know. Do you have any children, Rachel?
No, I don't.
Are
But
you concerned that that might be an issue?
I'm concerned, but with my T's, I know it's going to work. Yes, because from how I started to where I am now, to having irregular periods, I'm talking I have a 28-day cycle. I ovulate on time. I track my ovulation. I have everything that you need to conceive. It's just that for me, it's time.
Yes.
And my other half doesn't live here, so sometimes, you know, my body might be ready, but then he's not here. So this has been my area. And people, I get the questions, your friends, oh, you're not having a baby yet, and age, the clock is ticking. Everybody makes conceiving like there's no time.
Yeah.
So this has been the hardest part of PCOS for me.
Yeah.
Dealing with the remarks from people on conceiving, not knowing you're trying and there's no timeline.
Yeah.
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 You know, and for everybody a clock watch, man.
Yeah.
Everybody
has a
everybody
timeline.
watching your clock more than you.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I know.
It's just like, it's just, but, and for me, like, I'm not in the position, but I can understand. Why I can understand is that I remember when I started gaining weight for my fibromyalgia, and the same people that used to tell me, like, oh, you need to lose weight, they're like, boy, you used to look so nice before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
we
get
need
that
to
a
pick
lot.
a side, you know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And to know that you cannot control what's happening. Your body is just rebelling, you know, or if my girlfriend's with lupus. You know, so there's so many of these diseases. They're so closely linked. You know, the body pains. Do you guys have body pains?
Yes.
Well, I know we have Rachel with the T's, so
Yes.
I
know, right?
I can't complain right now.
but the pains are also associated, the fatigue. One of my girlfriends, she told me the other day, there are days, Julie, I just cannot get out of bed, and it's like, yo, that sounds like my fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
And she said, no, for PCOS we do have this fatigue,
Yeah.
this
there.
uncontrollable. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Right.
The hair loss,
Yeah.
I didn't know this either.
The edges, yeah.
The edge, your edges, the most
Edges,
important
yeah.
part.
Yes.
The
And-
edges.
Oh yeah, some people keep blaming it on, oh, you're always wearing weave or you have
Oh,
braids, but no,
wow.
male pattern baldness is
Right,
part
it's
of
part
having
of it.
PCOS,
True.
and that's what they don't understand.
Yeah, and everybody experiences PCOS
In a different way,
in a
but
different way, like
then
she mentioned earlier.
Everybody is judge and jury on your life, not knowing you're dealing with these things behind closed door,
Yeah.
and it hurts. So, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So any other symptoms? I know our ladies are sitting at the tip of their chairs listening to see if they may just have some of the symptoms. And we're not diagnosing you by all
Yes.
means. We just tell you some
Yes.
of the
I know.
illnesses that we do face. So we spoke
So-
about the weight, the beard, the infertility, pains, menstrual
Irregular.
period, irregular
Right.
The
periods.
acne, the dark
Oh,
spots
acne.
around under your
Right.
face, and the dark spots underneath your arms, between your
Right.
legs, and
Yes.
people cast judgments on women. Like I've listened to them, especially during the carnival season, or these women have black on the armpits or between their legs or underneath their bums,
Yep.
but it's not that they have like they're it's an intent to be that
Yes.
way.
Right.
It's part of having PCOS that you can experience dark spots in certain areas that you don't want it, and they can't control it.
Right.
Some women, you have to, if you have a routine, like you follow some facial scrubs, something to help it. But yeah, it's going to come, and I feel sorry that women have to go through this because it's not their choice.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
happens.
Yes, and they would prefer that you bleach it out as
Yeah.
opposed to,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And if I have to bleach, let me tell you, I'll be a Dalmatian because I remember
I
to not forget tomorrow. But
Oh my.
but come through with the education. I
Yeah.
really like,
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't know about the dark spots.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That is common. So sometimes a lot of people suggest exfoliating. Now
Oh, yeah.
exfoliating goes so far because this is a deeper issue than just skin surface.
Yeah.
So the whole hormonal imbalance process that's happening on the inside leads to that. So sometimes you exfoliate and the first three processes that you've done, it does not, you don't see any
Yeah.
results, and you're wondering, well, what's going on? That's because we have to not only pair the skin care, but the internal care, which
Yeah.
is where
Might is coming.
Rachel's
So yeah,
is coming.
Yes.
you have to balance your hormones.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for the pains and stuff that others would experience,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I got into massage therapy. So
Yes.
the massage therapy can actually help with the circulation, loosening,
Yeah.
especially sometimes, the tension could be a lot deeper. Myofascial tension release is something else that we do to
Okay.
be able to assist with that, especially in the abdominal region, to be able to ease that menstrual pains. That is also something that's,
Okay, so we
That
can talk
helps.
about, I guess we can talk about treatment now because both of you do
Right.
have something that can treat, as you're saying. So tell us about that massage and your business. So you're professional masseuse,
massage therapist.
massage therapist, okay? And you're saying that there are things that you can do to the body for
Right.
women who are patients of people with PCOS, women with PCOS. There are different massages that you can give that can
Yes.
alleviate pain
Yes.
and just symptoms, period.
Yes.
Okay,
There
tell us
are,
about
yes. So really, honestly, truly, because we have all these fluids in the area, sometimes, especially during certain periods, not when, as I wouldn't advise that it would be when you're having your menstrual, but before and after, in between that period, the lymph drainage massage helps. That's it's not a very deep massage. It's very light, and it's really like it's just this. like very light.
That's not the same thing you do after you do surgery, like.
Right.
Okay.
So this actually helps to reduce some inflammation in the areas. The heavy excess bloating sometimes that you experience. It gets the lymph fluid to where it's supposed to be, the lymph nodes, and allows the body to pass it out naturally. And then for the heavy cramping as well, in the Swedish massage, you can do different techniques that can allow you to go a little deeper. The deep tissue, I would not advise it because it might just be too much pressure in the area for something that it can cause more discomfort than ease of pain. So it's technically being able to manipulate the surface tissues and the superficial tissues, those that are below, to be able to allow the body to release tension naturally and give you ease. So that's
Okay, and Rachel, I know your story. I've had Rachel, but time to showcase your powerhouse. Let me tell you, if you're listening in Antigua, coming through soon, Barbados, coming through soon, like now I am ready to be Rachel T ambassador.
Welcome.
No, because she came on the show, she spoke about it. I said I'll try it, and it works. So for those with PCOS, body aches, anything that just make you unfortunately woman.
Yes.
I want to say it's fortunate, but the thing that when you're unfortunate to be a woman, tease. So Rachel, tell us.
Okay, so for everyone who don't know me, my name is Rachel Shillingford, and I am the CEO of Herbal Harmony. Now, my teas, they tell a story because I'm a fellow sister like you all. I suffered with PCOS for a long time until I had no choice but to switch to other alternatives, which was natural, of course. So every tea for me tell a story. I started with red raspberry, and it helped balance my hormones and get my hormone on track. Like you said, we have to start with the inside and the hormones. Also, for my painful and irregular periods, I did the famous PMS relief that helped me get rid of the pain. I am literally telling you this has worked for me, and Miss Julie can now testify that it has worked for her.
And soon Lily.
And soon Lily will. And let's get to the good part, PCOS. I suffered a lot with PCOS, and throughout my journey, it was hard that I had to start experimenting with herbs that could help keep my symptoms under control. And to my amazement, I came across a wide array of herbs that were farm grown that helped get my symptoms on track. And I can say now that I no longer have my ovaries covered in cysts. I have.
So wait, hold on. Are you saying they drop off?
Yeah.
They disappear?
They disappeared.
They didn't just minimize.
Yes.
They just disappear.
And I have the.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I have my scans to show from age 24. What it measured, I had my entire ovaries covered with cysts, and until.
They never bring it for you alone to say bring it for the camera.
For the camera.
Yeah, I just dove right in.
Yeah.
She brought the receipts.
I brought everything because I want every woman to know that it works. The magic is in my tea. And you should get to drinking, especially if you suffer drastically with PCOS. So at age 24, I had my whole ovaries covered in cysts, and I didn't know what to do until I went home and started experimenting with different herbs. And yes, so when I'm fast-tracked to 2022, in March, I went to do a scan, and I'm laying on the table, and I'm saying, God, you're the author, take control. And Julie, the doctor at the time, came in and said, I can't diagnose you with full-blown PCOS. And I'm like, what are you speaking about? I have had that condition throughout my entire journey, teenage journey and all. And she said, yes, I'll show you, but you can repeat the scan afterwards. And this is where I now have normal uterus, and bilateral simple functional ovarian
Show them that
cysts.
you're reading
Oh,
from
yes.
real
Yes.
medical report.
We are
Yeah.
showing you the
So
Yes.
I now have a simple bilateral functioning cyst that measures 0.9 centimeters, I would say, and it's all on my right ovaries. So my left ovaries are no longer covered with cysts. And it was, I have to give credit to my PCOS supportees, and also diet played an important role in my journey.
Yep.
So another thing, there are persons who think that you drink 1 cup of tea and it works. No, consistency is key. I mean, some people it can, like Julie, she drank her teas and yes, it worked for the pain. But I'm talking about you have that PCOS condition for years and drinking 1 cup of tea is not going to help. You have to keep on going. You have to be consistent. Rewards doesn't just come overnight. So yes, this is my teas, and if you suffer from PCOS, I'm asking you to get on board. It worked for me. It has worked for others. I have had women who couldn't conceive said they have conceived through drinking this tea along with red raspberry. So I'm asking my sisters, there is hope. And it starts with just 1 sip of tea from Herbal Harmony.
Yep.
Look at that. It starts with
I
just
know,
one
right?
sip of tea
Right.
from Herbal Harmony. It even
Yes.
rhyme. But it rhyme with Julie too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm in full promo mode right now.
yes,
So,
yes.
you know, with the hands.
So we're just
yes.
showing the teas
Right.
on screen, and this is definitely not an ad. It's
Yeah.
just that if we're going to be speaking about something that a lot of our women are going through, why not have a solution for the problem?
Right.
Yes.
And the
there
fact
is-
that the solution is homegrown, it's a
Right.
local. This is an international problem, and in Little Dominica there is a cure. Or there,
Yes.
I mean, we just saw the receipts.
Yes.
Yep.
We are sitting here in the studio, and we have Lily, who's not using the tea, still saying I have the hairs, saying I have the pains, I am still
Yeah.
overweight, and we have Rachel sitting on the other side saying, yeah, I have PCOS, but nothing's going on.
Yeah.
So so we really wanted to do PCOS awareness,
Yes.
and B, say that we do have some sort of solution to the issue. I think it doesn't serve any purpose if we just speak about it and not speak
That's
of the
right.
solution.
We have
Solution.
to.
So
We have to.
Rachel, let me tell you, a godsend.
Oh yes.
People like you,
Oh.
people like you, we have to call you Moses.
Exactly.
Because God call you.
I know. Oh, yes.
And thank you for answering the call, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are people at home right now gonna know. Let me go and check the live. Let me see if somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, look, where? How can I purchase? Where can I purchase?
Yes.
So please let the people know before we wrap up where
Okay.
you can purchase.
So my teas are available at HAG We Church, Best Price, Max Mart, and AC Shillingfords in Roseau. And if you're in St. Martin, it's available at Caribbean Favorite Health Store on the Dutch side.
Okay. Oh,
But I
wow.
plan to go full international. It will happen.
It
Yeah.
will happen. We're
Yeah,
claiming
and
it.
as I said, we're going to Antigua and Barbados
Yes.
pretty soon.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes,
We gotta
and
manifest these
and-
things.
yes.
That's
Seeing
right.
that a fellow sister, the offer in me, wrote something for our sisters,
Yes.
maybe when we're wrapping up.
No, I want you to do it now. I was gonna go
Oh.
there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Rachel Schillenford. She's also an author. She has 2 books, Tea Matador.
Yes.
And I was the second one, Tea
The
Matador.
workbook.
And the Tea Matador workbook. You see, I remember.
Ah.
So she also decided to write a little poem that is dedicated to the women who are suffering from PCOS.
Yes. Okay, everybody. So for my fellow sisters, the name of the poem / message that I have for you, it's called Sisters Take a Stand. At times you feel you can't stand, as if your life is not at your command. Today you feel strong, the next day you're not, as if being a woman is the hardest battle you fought. You pace yourself to face each day as you look at your reflection in the mirror every day. The facial hair, the dark spots, and acne scars are all symptoms you wish could have disappeared as you hang your head in despair. What's wrong with me, you may ask? PCOS. This dreadful condition has made life no easy task. But don't hide it all behind a mask. Breathe in, breathe out, wash your face out again, anything that makes you feel sane. There are others worse than you and I, a harsh reality that we can't undo. A harsh reality that we can't undo. Your weight is up, loss of sleep, your hormones has you feeling blue. Others cast remarks at a journey they don't understand, a condition that makes you question your worth as a woman. No baby yet, or why are your edges bald that way, are all the things you wish they did not say. What they don't see or understand, you're fighting an illness that is said to has no cure to man. It's something you don't wish even your enemy could endure. Sisters, I ask that you take a stand, even if this journey you don't understand. There are people willing to hold your hand. Together we will fight, we will find a way, even if it means healing the natural way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And by the natural way, I'm pretty sure she meant
Verbal
verbal
harmony.
harmony.
Yes.
And we also have Lily, who is an artist. Lily sings. So do you
Yes.
do, of course you do bookings and stuff. So please give the people
Yes.
your number for the massages, and also if they
Right.
need someone to sing at the wedding, the birthday parties, the, whatever else you perform before we wrap up.
Yes, I'm Lily Octave. Yes, I am an artist. My genres are R&B, soul, pop, and jazz. I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. My handles are at Lily Octave, LILIOCTAVE. They're on my platforms as well. I do plus size modeling, where we encourage everybody to embrace their size. Even if we're not at this point as yet where we're able to actually manage everything, it's important to be comfortable in yourself. Okay, so for the massages, I can be contacted at 612-3342. Again, that is 612-3342. And if you'd like to see my work, what I've done, you want to book, you could check out www.lilyoctave.com. For bookings for massages, it would be www.lilyoctave.com/Beaumetics, BEAUMETICS. Okay, so this is all of the things that we want you to be able to do, to be able to have experience your life to the fullest, being able to embrace yourself in wherever you are. We are combining this remedy with the physical remedy, where you massage to be able to have your circulation regulated and you can feel better. And of course, mentally, where you embrace yourself and you accept that this is what is, before you even take these other steps, because we don't want you to feel bad about who you are and what you're seeing in the mirror.
Yes.
You are beautiful in every single way. There's only one you on this planet. And so you need to embrace the other qualities and every other part of you, including the physical.
Yes.
Okay? So this
Yes.
is my message from Lily to you.
All right. So I really want to thank you, women, for being here. And I hope that if you're battling with PCOS, lupus, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, any autoimmune illness, any unexplained illness, as a woman, you're fighting against it, just be a champion tonight, because it doesn't matter what you're enduring, you're still woman. You're still beautiful. And that's what we really wanted you to know here this evening, that Rachel is going through it, but she found a way through. Lily is going through it, but she's finding a way through, and they're finding ways through for other people also. So thank you so much for listening this evening, for being a part of the PCOS journey, PCOS edition with us here this evening. And as I say, I know the shows are a bit different this month, but we're still doing Dominican stories and the way in which it affects us. So next week we'll be talking about Maria, Kako tea, bush tea, basilic tea, any tea. And Maria, next week you're going to get a call in and talk about how Maria affected you and what happened. And remember, if you missed the show, you can always go back on DBS Facebook page live and look at the show. We're going to end with our final video. Auntie Ophelia, I see you. Good night. I see you in a nice head wrap. So please stay tuned that we have streams of consciousness next. But cheers to every fighter of PCOS. Cheers to Lily. Happy birthday. It's great to have you guys this evening. And until next time, this is Bio Out Loud. I am Julie Roberts, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye.
The Julie Roberts Foundation wishes to thank the following sponsors for making its back to school sponsorship a reality.
Good morning, I am Brenton Hillier, Agency Manager of Surgical Life in Dominica.
And I am Geoffrey Lyndon Graham, Surgical Advisor, Dominica.
I am Darrell Simon, Advisor.
On behalf of the three of us, advisors of Surgical Life in Dominica, we wanted to make a personal contribution to Julie Roberts for her foundation. She is doing a tremendous job with the youth of Dominica. We could not ignore her efforts, and we had to step in and assist.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Julie Roberts Foundation, we want to say thank you. We've been doing a scholarship program, a back to school scholarship program, just to assist with uniform and shoes, just some supplies. And I think this is going to go a long way. So I appreciate it, and thank you to the three of you for making the effort to supporting a young student, a young child back to school.
That's all, please.
I'm not gonna say